What's up, you guys? Awan Groundwalker here with a review today of the Storm Collectibles Golden Axe Skeleton 2-pack. I actually had on order 2 of these, so I was gonna have 4 skeletons, but because of all the pre-orders dropping, you know, Batman, Hush Batman, the whole Spider-Man Vintage Wave, Mezco Harley Quinn, I mean, the list goes on and on of pre-orders that I have that are dropping very soon. So I wanted to err on the side of caution. I wanted to make sure I have enough money for those. So I only got 1 of these packs. And honestly, you really only do need 1. 4 is like more of an army builder. And yeah, it's cool, but there's not many shots in my mind that I'd use a lot of skeletons for. They're more for like ruins or like accent pieces. Maybe, you know, fighting sometimes. But for the most part, they're more for props rather than the actual figures themselves. But I'm still super excited to get these. I've been waiting a while for these. I remember when I pre-ordered them, so let's get into it. I'm a little late to the game on this, not super, but within a week or 2 I think I'm a little late. But it's whatever. So anyway, taking a look at this, you got some cool images of like some kind of retro skeletons on the side that look like almost they're from like a arcade game. Then on this side here, you got the Golden Axe skeleton, just says right there, and then on the back you got, oop, don't want this to fall over. You got some cool like little promo images of the skeletons and some cool poses and everything. It says Golden Axe at the top and Storm Collectibles at the bottom. Same images on the other side. So let's get to it. Let's open this and let's hear my thoughts. Here we go, guys, taking a look at the Storm Collectibles Skeleton 2-pack. I believe they're called Golden Axe Skeleton 2-packs. And oh my god, guys, if you guys are even remotely interested in Mythical Legions and Indiana Jones, Pirates of the Caribbean, literally almost any toy line would work with these, because these are fantastic figures. I can't say it enough. I am actually blown away by how much I actually like these guys. Again, if you saw just right a second ago at the start of the review, I was very much like, you know what, I'm probably just gonna use these for, you know, props. You know, I'm gonna use them for dead bodies in temples or, you know, battlefields, stuff like that. But honestly, I can definitely see myself using these in a lot of shots. They are super cool, super articulated for what I thought I was getting. So, you know, not insane, but still amazing. The scopes are super cool. The accessories, the amount of hands we get are awesome. So I'm super happy with these guys. So let's take a look at each one individually. Well, not each one individually because they're the exact same, but let's take a look at them individually. So we're gonna put the sword wielding skeleton out on the side for now. God, I can't talk. And we'll talk about this one. So, oh my god, I love this figure so much. So taking a look at him, right, the main thing we're gonna talk about first is accessories. So they come with these fisted hands on them first. They have little gaps by the thumbs, but nothing to fit in there. So it comes with the fisted hand first. Then I'm getting the tray because it comes with so many. It comes with a set of open hands, which we'll take a look at real quick. If I can pull them out. All the fingers, I might add, are very, all the fingers are, this will focus on me, please. There we go. All the fingers are like bendy a little bit, so that's super helpful. So we got there. Then we have a set of kind of like clawed hands almost a little bit. They're like reaching or grabbing something, so you could probably use them to grab something. So we'll take a look at these real quick. If this will focus. Come on. Maybe a little. There we go. So those are cool. And then we got a pair of like almost trigger finger hands, but they're also like pointing hands also. So I really dig these because it's kind of, you know, scary if like the skeleton's pointing at you type of thing, but it's also like trigger finger hands. I don't know why, but those are awesome. And then our last pair is our sword wielding hands essentially. And the sword wielding hands, basically you can just port the sword in. So they look like this. We got to get this focus right. There we go. And you can just port the sword in there, which I'll demonstrate real quick if I can get the sword out. So again, he comes with all these hands, and then he comes with a sword. So let me get the focus right here. There we go. Boom. I know it's hard to see because it got all blurry, but there we go. Again, these hands are super like pliable, which I love because I mean the sword still stays in there very well, but it's still pliable enough where you can fit other maybe weapons from other lines in there, which is why I really like it. So guys, that's again the accessories. Again, there's one more that we're gonna go over real quick. I don't think there's a certain way to do this besides just to port it on, but he comes with a shield. It has a skeleton logo real quick right here, and then on the back it just has a little leather strap and a little metal thing. All of this are plastic, but it's cool. It's pretty easy to pour it on, which I'll demonstrate right now. You can just shove his just normal fisted hand through it, and it sticks pretty well. So that's awesome. Again, you can still articulate it really well. I mean, nothing changes. It's still super cool. Super, super cool. So let's go over basically the deco of the figure, you know, how this guy looks, because again, like I said before, let me move the tray. This guy is amazing, and again, I'm not about the bullshit. I'm giving you guys this completely straight. I think this figure is amazing. So let's go over basically just the whole look of him. So I love the head. I love the shading in the eyes. Oh my god, the black looks amazing. I love how it kind of continues. The shading under the eyes and around the nose. Let me zoom in for you guys so you guys can really see this. But I seriously love the shading on here. It's amazing. Amazing. By the nose, the same. I love the gray and I love the dark shading again by where a lot of the ridges. And I love, oh my god, look at the cracks in the head, guys. Oh my god, this is amazing. I love the rib cage again. It's in keeping with this gray and a lot of good shading on this gray to really make it realistic. I love it. I love the anatomy. Love the ribs. I love the diaphragm, the spine. Oh my god, the way the spine looks is awesome. Again, the torso, the pelvis, whatever, the knees, the legs, just all the bones. It feels so weird to have in your hand, but it's such a cool figure. Oh my god, I really dig it. So now for my favorite section probably of this review, the articulation, because this guy is really cool in the way that he articulates. We will be doing size comparisons because, you know, obviously a lot of people are wondering how this stacks up against your average Marvel Legend or 6-inch figure, so we will be doing that. So, articulation. Head articulation doesn't have much, and what he has I don't want to break. It doesn't look like he has any neck joint or really a head joint, so he can only look up about that much, again without the diaphragm movement, that much. He can look down a lot, but he can't look up, and I think mainly it's because this part of the skeleton head, sorry guys about the focus, it keeps just, you know, changing, but this part of the skeleton head hits the neck here, so that's why it can't go up any further. He has jaw articulation, so you can open that about as much as you can try, so that's freaking amazing if you want him yelling or talking or, you know, just making faces. That's awesome. He has a ton of pivot on the head, which is fantastic for doing a lot of cool expressions, like I said. And then, okay, diaphragm, we'll do arms. He can move his arms that far out. He can do a full 360 like that. He has no upper bicep swivel, but he has double, I think these are double jointed elbows. They're really, I think they're actually technically single jointed because there's no double joint. They're on ball joints, but they move really well. They have great range, so that's awesome for single jointed elbows. Then the hands can move up and down and do full 360s. Now this is where it kind of gets crazy. So there's a diaphragm joint up in like the spine, I guess, up here that allows him to crunch just by itself about that much forward and that much back. And then there's a second ball joint. Again, most of this figure's joints are all ball joints, but there's a second ball joint down by where the butt would be, kind of like down here, that allows him to get this insane amount of range here. Holy cow. I mean, that's crazy. And he can go about that far back. So that's amazing. That ball joint is super, super cool, which allows for some really great motion. And then, let's see. All right, up by the legs, he has another ball joint that allows him to kick that far out, basically do a full 360 back, which is just freaking fantastic, all the way up. I mean, oh my god. And then the knees, he has no upper thigh cup. He has, I think these are single jointed knees again because of the ball joint, but they have great range, which is cool. No thigh cuts or anything because the bones are all sculpted and stuff. His toes can, or his feet can move that far up, that far down. He has ankle pivot, which is great, and he has separate toe articulation on these skeleton toes. So guys, like I said, although he's, you know, he's like a really thin figure and he feels a little brittle sometimes, like this guy's articulation is absolutely fantastic. I mean, look at him. Like, you can get him like looking like he's about to box you. Like, this is insane. This figure is crazy. I'm so happy with it. Again, it doesn't defeat my original purpose of it, of having it, you know, just as props and ruins and stuff like that. But it just adds so much to it because now I feel so confident posing it and putting it in displays as well. I mean, oh my god, look at these two. if I can get them standing up. They're freaking beautiful. So size comparison time. So we got both of them, one in a wider stance, one in a basically straight up stance. So if we can get them standing here, we'll get some size comparisons real quick. I didn't have anything prepared, so I'm just gonna be kind of rolling the dice and just picking stuff out of the shelf. But here they are compared to an Edward Nygma Diamond Select figure. The reason why I do this is because Diamond Select are typically 7 inches, so you can kind of see where he stands. He's basically a 7-inch figure. These two are. So that's, you know, that's kind of your average scale. I'll compare them real quick to Freddy Krueger from NECA, just because Freddy, you know, you could do some nightmare scenes with this and look good. Again, same scale, so it works well with NECA Diamond Select McFarlane figures, I would assume. A lot of the 7-inch, more 7-inch scale figures is what it's really kind of meant for. Here it is compared to an SHF Stone Cold Steve Austin figure, again with some GPS slot clothing, so you can see how much smaller it is than SHF. However, again, leaned over and stuff, you could definitely finesse it. You could get it in ruins, you know, Star Wars ruins, etc., and it'd look fine. But that's how it is compared to an SHF figure. And now, probably the moment you're all waiting for, a Marvel Legend. I'll compare him, obviously, to just a classic Marvel Legend, roughly 6-inch scale. We'll do the 80th anniversary Iron Man right here. As you can see, not a ton taller, probably a good ½ an inch, maybe. Again, here's the scaling, so not that much taller. This is his height, this is his height, so just a little bit. Again, you can easily finesse it, finagle it, whatever you want to do in displays. It's pretty easy probably to change it up by just crouching the skeletons down and stuff. But I mean, if you look at the autonomy, I think that's anatomy, autonomy, whatever. The diaphragm looks in scale, the heads look in scale, everything looks in scale, just the legs of the skeletons are a little longer, making it higher. So again, if you shoot from the waist up the skeletons, or even just shoot, you know, at an angle, or crouch them down, you still basically have them, they're still 6-inch scale, they're just taller people in the 6-inch scale, if that makes sense. So you can easily finesse it with 6-inch figures, or even SHF, or even Diamond Select. So there's your size comparisons. I'm gonna do a display real quick with Indiana Jones and these guys, and just give you my final thoughts on the figures.